All right, we're going live. Going live, going live. It's always like an event on my end. I'm like, am I doing this right? Yes, yes, yes. Right? So today's topic is to trust myself, or how do I learn to trust myself, right? How do I learn to trust myself? And so part of that is exactly what I'm doing right now. I have to learn to trust that even though every time I do a live, it's a whole event for me, I have to believe that I can trust myself. I have to believe that I can get this right. Does that make sense? Yeah. Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you doing? Right? So, I want to talk about learning to trust ourselves today because this is a big deal. This is a big deal. A lot of people don't know if they don't know how to trust themselves. They don't know if they should be able to trust themselves. Um this kind of came up for me today in therapy. I had a client and we were talking about basically at what point in their life did they learn that they couldn't trust themselves. Yeah. At what point in our life, what was the messaging, right? What's the messaging? Where did I learn that I couldn't trust myself? Do you ever feel like you can't trust yourself? Do we get lost? Do we ever get lost in life and not really be aware of what voice should I be trusting? Sometimes we're so focused on not hurting other people's feelings. We're so focused on what's the right thing I'm supposed to do in this moment. Sometimes the situation gets very confusing and we don't know how to come back to center and just trust ourselves. So I want to talk about that today. I want to talk about that's a big deal, right? How can we move forward if we don't know how to trust ourselves? Right? How do we move forward if we don't know how to trust ourselves? Can I trust myself with my own feelings? Can I trust that feeling what I feel like, even if no one else understands it, that I can trust that these are my feelings and I need to be able to honor myself. Are we honoring ourselves? That's a good question, right? Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. Sometimes people need to take a leap of faith and move outside of their box of feelings and reality. Yes. And to do that, we must be able to trust ourselves. That's an excellent point. Because the whole reason we are oftentimes not trusting ourselves, and the reason we can't get outside of the box that we've been living in, is because whatever taught us not to trust our own feelings has kept us in that box. Out of despair sprout opportunities. Absolutely. And that is a perspective. right? It's very important that we have that perspective. That out of my despair, whatever I'm experiencing in this moment, there is an opportunity in this moment. Yeah. That is a perspective. That is a higher mental functioning perspective, right? And we need to learn that. That no matter what I'm experiencing in this moment has an opportunity in it for me. For me. I was talking to a client today, and I was talking about this breakup that I had once, right? I was breaking up with this guy. And I really loved this guy. I cared for him, but it just was not working for us. And I knew that I needed to break up with him because this was going to be a very miserable life for me. We weren't in alignment. And it didn't mean I didn't care for him. It didn't mean that I didn't love him. It didn't mean that I wanted to hurt him. It really didn't have anything to do with him. I was learning to trust my own emotions. I was learning to trust my own inner voice. I was learning to trust my own inner guidance system. How many of y'all understand trusting our inner guidance system is the way to go, right? It's like the books can help advance our intelligence, right? Getting around higher functioning people can advance our nervous system's ability to be accustomed to being comfortable in other environments. We can do these other things to help advance us and move, right? Move forward in life. But it's our own internal guidance system that we must trust, because that's what's trying to communicate what is healthy for us and what is not healthy for us. Right? Yeah. So for us to get to this perspective, like you're saying, out of despair sprouts opportunities. I had to trust my inner guidance system that was telling me this relationship is going to take you off your spiritually driven, God-given talents, gifts, pathway, right? I was really in tune. I was writing my first book, and I was very in tune with my spirit saying, I need to write this book. I need to move in this direction, whatever that meant for me at the time. This was what I was in alignment with. And I had to trust my inner voice, my inner guidance system that was saying this other thing, this relationship is going to take you off your soul purpose. Because that relationship was requiring things of me that I could not give. I just didn't have it in me to give. I can't be focused on doing soul work and then providing for the needs of someone else who needs that level of attention. So we were unequally yoked in that moment. But I had to be able to trust. I had to be able to trust my inner voice. And it was tough. It was tough. I cried. We went to counseling. I was sad. I felt responsible. How could I do this to this person? How could I cause this harm, right? But the thing is that it wasn't that I was causing them harm. It was by releasing them from the relationship, they then were able to go find their own path in life. And I was able to continue on the path that I knew I was supposed to be on. But I had to trust myself. So I want to do a little, kind of like a little meditation today. not really, just like sitting with ourselves, right? Let's sit with ourselves quietly and let's like think about this idea that I can absolutely trust my feelings. So I want to get my little bell, my little bowl, my sound bowl. And I want us to sit with, I want us to get comfortable with, I want us to align. Like, let's energetically align. Let's energetically align. Let's close our eyes for a moment. And just breathe. Let's energetically align with this new belief that I can trust my inner voice. That feels good just saying it. That I can trust my inner voice. Yes. So I want you, as you keep your eyes closed, I want you to just really do this, right? Because it's going to help you come into the center of your own being. To really root yourself and get familiar with the feeling of feeling like I can trust myself. I can trust myself. I can trust myself. And I want you to repeat this to yourself, whether internally in your mind or verbally out loud, because we know the power of life and death is in the tongue. I can trust myself. Breathe that in. And then release. Release through exhale. I can trust myself. It takes a while. It takes a while to get energetically in alignment with a mental thought. That no matter what life presents to me, even when I don't know the answer to what I should do next, I can trust that I'll figure it out. I trust that I will figure out the answers to my life. I trust that the higher intelligence of the universe also resides within me. And that everything that shows up in my life is trying to direct me into alignment of where I should be in life. And if only I can trust myself to listen to the inner voice inside of me, the energy that's communicating to me. If only I can just sit in silence long enough to focus, to subjugate all of the distractions that are trying to move me out of position of focus. That if I can just trust that I can control my mind, and I can tell my mind what we're going to do in this moment. If I can trust my instincts, that I will be smartly guided because my instincts are connected to the higher intelligence of the universe, right? I am a byproduct of this universe. I am made of the same substances that everything in this universe is made of. Come on, y'all. We got to go deeper. We got to go deeper. We have to understand who we are at our core. At our core, we are one with the universe. And the universe communicates to us. Because at the core of who you are, and at the core of what everything in the universe is made of, it's the same physiological substance. Everything in existence is made of atoms. And atoms are made of energy. So everything in creation is made of the same core substance, which is energy. And if the universe is energy, and everything in creation is energy, and I am a byproduct of everything else that is created. I am one. We are one with everything in the universe because we are created from the same substance. There is no difference between you and I. Energetically. Neurologically, yes. We as humans, we have a conscious mind. We are the only species in creation with a conscious mind. So anatomically, we have different parts to ourselves. We're not made of tree limbs and leaves. So anatomically, a tree and a plant and a fish may have different parts to it. But at its basic creative substance, it is the same substance that I am made out of. And it's energy from atoms. And my job as a human being is to come back into myself, to be able to sit quietly, to subjugate my mind, my emotions, my desires, everything that makes me human. In that moment, I must subjugate that so I can deeply connect with my spirit. And be guided by the force that is within me. And I must affirm that I can trust my inner guidance system. I must trust the inner voice, not the voice in my head, but the voice inside of me, in my body. And maybe it's not a voice for you. For everyone, it's something different. It could be an energetic knowing. It could be a new awareness. Ultimately, it's a sense. It's what they call our sixth sense. It's our intuition. I must be able to trust my inner intuition. Yeah. And so that's the affirmation right now. Breathe in through your nose. I can trust my intuition. I trust myself to hear it, to judge it. Where is this guiding me to? Is this something that I'm in alignment with? Or do I need to get in alignment with it? I can trust that it's guiding me somewhere that's better for me. because it's my energetic knowing that supersedes my mental knowing. Because oftentimes our thoughts are confused. Our thoughts can confuse our life because our thoughts are created from our upbringing. So in this moment, just affirm, I can trust my intuition. Breathe that in and release through exhale anything that no longer serves you. Any thought, any emotion, any negativity, any fear, any worry, any doubt. It's time to release that. You must release that. It does not serve you. What will serve you is trusting your inner guidance system. And so today, just breathe in. I can trust myself to hear my guidance system. I can trust that my inner guidance system knows what's best for me. As long as it's not telling me to harm myself or someone else, then I know that this is my inner guidance system, not my thoughts. And I can learn to trust that part of me. Just breathe that affirmation in and exhale anything that no longer serves you. And I want you to just take a moment to sit in silence with that. Put your focus internally on your intuition. Don't think. You want to be able to learn how to go into no thought. And just be with your intuition and your inner guidance system. Okay, come back into this moment. How are you guys feeling? How was that? Did you guys do it? Thank you. The captain awoke. You're so funny. Oh my God. The intensity of despair has a strong emotional effect on the manifested world. That's such a powerful statement. The intensity of despair. Man, we could stop right there, right? So the intensity of any emotion is definitive, right? It's the emotional connection that we have to whatever it is we're experiencing that will then define how that experience affects us long term. So that's a very powerful statement. The intensity of despair has a strong emotional effect on the manifested world. Yeah. And oftentimes, right, this is what they say, right? We're manifesting our own world based on what you're talking about. The intensity of that moment, the intensity of that emotion. Is what then, depending on our developmental stage, how old we are, the intensity of the despair during different life stages is what determines the meaning the meaning that we're going to give that experience. The intensity of the emotion will determine the meaning we give that experience. And the meaning we give that experience will produce our manifested world. Man, that's deep. That's it right there. All right. And you continue to say, in despair, one must state their higher desires. In despair, one must state their higher desires. Yes, we must subjugate our ego. We must subjugate our inner child during despair. We must subjugate the immediacy and not stay, don't get fixated on the moment of despair. But as you're saying, speak into existence those things that are not as though they are, right? That's biblical. So in despair, one must state their higher desires. Yes, because if we do not speak those things that are not as though they are or were, then we become one with the despair. We emotionally connect with that moment. And if we emotionally connect with that moment based on the intensity of the emotion, then begins to define our manifested world. And our manifested world will be in direct proportion to the emotion that we attributed to the moment of despair. And what we need to do is what you're suggesting is speak our higher desires into existence in that moment, so that our brain focuses on what we want to manifest as opposed to what our feelings are telling us to manifest. Yeah, outstanding. The universe will respond. Yes, because we're all energetic beings. We're in an energetic universe. The universe is energy. So it's all connected, and it's created in human form based on our thoughts that are connected to our emotions, right? Every thought has a corresponding emotion. So if we have low-level thoughts, then we'll have low-level emotions. And when we can subjugate our ego and our inner child and our selfishness and our self-righteousness and our pain in that moment of despair, and we speak into existence our higher desires, as you're suggesting, then the universe will respond, because the universe, our reality, is just a reflection of our inner thoughts. Our reality is a reflection of our perspective. So we are truly the captain of our own ship. No pun intended, while you're on your yacht. Living your best life. I love it. And by the way, I have no idea who I'm talking to. Tell me who you are. I love it though. You are giving them opportunity when you Okay, the message got cut off. You were giving them opportunity when you left. Oh, okay. You're probably talking about the example I was giving. Yeah, absolutely. That breakup, I was giving the person an opportunity to get in alignment with their own desired manifested world. In that moment, their desired manifested world was with me. But my desired manifested world, and it wasn't even a desire, it was my soul's purpose. My soul's purpose had a path. And had I stayed in alignment with something that wasn't congruent with my soul's purpose, then I would have dishonored my entire existence. And this is why we should not stay in relationships that we are not energetically aligned with, that are not healthy for us, that we know is not where we should be, right? And this is why it's so important. We got to be able to trust our inner voice, our inner energetic guidance system, our inner intuition, we need to learn to trust that, because this is not always intelligent. This is very emotional. Our thoughts are very emotional. So one minute I could feel like I love the person with all my heart and I'm going to be devoted and all this kind of thing. And in the next moment, it's like you get on my last nerve and I don't like you. And in the next moment, it's like, I don't think this is where I should be. And then in the next moment, maybe we have some kind of emotional soul tie, or, we have great sex or something, or we're just having a good time. And I'm like, oh man, I really do like being with you. So this can confuse the shit out of us, right? It's not reliable, right? But this is reliable. This is the, this is the connection to God. Or maybe you don't recognize God as God, but your creator. Your inner intuition, your energetic field. That's your connection to your creator. It's not of you, it's in you. Your inner intuition is not of you, it's in you. It's of something else. It's of your creator. It's of whatever it is that created you, the higher intelligence. Your intuition is your higher intelligence. It's in you. It's not of you. Do you understand the difference? That's really important to understand the difference, right? So I'm going to wrap up here, but really meditate on that. My inner intuition is in me. It is not of me. Okay? Really important to understand the difference. Your inner intuition, I'm going to say it one more time because this is really, really important. Your inner guidance system, the thing that you need to learn how to trust, that has your best interest at heart, that is never going to harm you, that is always communicating with you for expansion, so you can evolve into a higher form of yourself, right? What is my soul's purpose while here on earth? That doesn't come from your brain. That comes from internal wisdom. So that internal wisdom is in you, but it's not of you. It's of your creator. It's of the universe. It's of the substance from which that you were created. All right? Meditate on that. Journal on that. What does that mean for you? Okay? All right, y'all. I'm Dr. Cruz. Today's Friday, so you guys have a great weekend. This Sunday, the 25th, I'm having a Deliberate Creators coaching session. So if you want to sign up for my private coaching, group coaching, it's at my website, capricruz.com. I want to highly encourage you to begin to read As a Man Thinketh. If you've never read that book before, that should be the very first book every human being reads, once they come of a certain mind in life, right? But even as children, we could read that book to them. It talks about how we think really determines who we become, right? So it's not directly related to your inner intuition. That's a separate topic. But I'm just making a suggestion for a personal growth and development book to read. Everybody should read As a Man Thinketh. It's super powerful. Very, very powerful. And other than that, be good to yourselves. Honor yourself. Learn to trust yourself. Be who you are. Be who you are. One of the things I'll tell you very quickly I had to learn to do was learn to be who I am after 20 years in the military. Because 20 years in the military, I couldn't be authentically who I was. And it's taken, and I'm still working on it. I'm still working on learning how to be authentically me, right? So authentically me means jewelry. I'm from New York. I love gold jewelry. I love my hoop earrings. I love bling bling. I love that says Dr. Cruz. That's a little bit of my ego, I guess, right? But like, it's beautiful. I love it. I'm like, yes, that's boom. That's who I am. I'm Dr. Cruz. I achieved that. I should celebrate myself, right? My hair, it's long. It looks a hot mess today, but who cares, right? I'm gonna get it cut in a couple weeks anyway. But, I am jewelry. I love my rings since junior high school. I've always been into jewelry. I'm into fashion. Um, yeah, it's a little different now that I'm older. I like, flip flops and stuff I can go to the beach in. But you know what I'm saying? You guys learn to listen to your inner voice. What makes you happy, right? What makes you feel good? What clothing do you like? What hair do you like? What avenue of self-expression works for you? Because once you learn that and you get more in alignment with yourself, you can learn to trust. So good. So good. You can learn to trust yourself. If I have to be someone that someone else wants me to be, then I'm not congruent with myself. And how can I live out my soul purpose in life if I am not congruent with myself? So that's the goal. Okay, let's get congruent with ourselves. Let's learn to trust our inner intuition, our inner voice, our inner energy, and get in alignment authentically with who you want to express yourself as. All right? All right. You guys have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday for another episode of Heal Your Life with Dr. Cruz. Have a great one. Bye-bye.